A beautiful vista that is Sydney Harbour, the ferries plying their trade backwards and forwards, a form of public transport in Sydney, and the beautiful Sydney Opera House. 40 years this year, the Sydney Opera House, and a marvellous piece of architecture. And the Sydney Harbour Bridge, which at one stage was the tallest established building in Sydney. There was no skyscrapers when it was built, and it was the tallest structure that was in Sydney town. For Steve Chapman, who's our Blackmores warrior, we spoke with him earlier on in the program. He has just achieved the 25k mark. He's looking to complete the 42. It's his first marathon. Steve Chapman is travelling okay, which is good news, boys.
Yeah, as long as he's not suffering. We don't know what sort of shape he is going through that 25, but as long as he's not suffering and he's doing his best, and that's all you can hope for.
Yeah. A lot of people at home will be tracking them as you can do on internet times now. So always great when the name comes up on those splits. You're happy at home if you're supporting someone and you see that split time come through.
Our roving reporter downstairs is Lee Troop, and he has got the winner of the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival Marathon. That is Willie Koitalay.
I'm here with our men's winner, Willie Kapoor. Willie, how did you feel?
I am okay for this race because I am feeling well. I come from Kenya. I am so very prepared for this race, but the weather can give me challenges small.
Well, you still ran very fast. You ran sub 2:14, and you've continued along the great line of other Kenyan runners.
Yes.
And what is going to be next for you? What will be your next marathon?
I will run in December Shanghai Marathon.
And did you like the Sydney Marathon?
Yeah. Next year I will feel very well to run next year to remove course record.
Well, congratulations, Jumbo.
Yeah, thank you.
Great to have so much cheering and the crowd involved. We can see the stride pattern as he makes his way to the finish line. Willie Koitalay, $10,000 jumps in the back pocket for the runner from Kenya, 27 years of age. And when you have a look at the marathon, over 4,000 runners started in the marathon. This man was the first home.
And he did mention the weather, so I think there is an impact on that, sweating up. So yep. I think he certainly was affected by the warmth out there, and it'll be tough for the competitors still out on the roadway.
Biratat Degafa is our lead women's runner, and she's just starting to work a little bit harder. The stride pattern was maybe a little longer a bit earlier. Now she's starting to work and check the watch. Yeah. And the mental demons, do they creep in at this stage?
Well, yeah, I think you're right. I think Mollers would agree. She's checking her watch here, looking to see how far she's got to go in relation to the time that she's at the moment. And I think you're right. Her stride just slightly shortening a little bit. She knows she's in front. She knows she's a long way in front. So she's just trying to conserve it and just keep the rhythm going.
Yeah, and I think also her hips have dropped a little bit, so I think she is just covering the ground. She's a bit lower to the ground, so she's lost that knee lift. So she's at 40k and still got a couple of k to go. You want to just run your own race. She won't really be that aware of who's coming from behind. That's the issue. And to be honest, if someone comes from behind, they've probably caught you, and it's going to be difficult to run with them anyway. So she will just be concentrating on her own race. A couple of k to go. She'll start to get a bit of a sniff for the finish line. She comes around and sees the Opera House. That'll help.
Okay, so the Chinese runner in Jingning Ming is a kilometre behind Degafa, so she's going to be able to get through the heart of the CBD. Macquarie Street is where we are, and you can see the runners there. The bridge run, the family run, you name it. There is something for everyone at the Blackmore Sydney's Running Festival. And waves to the camera. They got too much energy, those people, surely.
Yeah, they're enjoying themselves. Come on, let them have a good day here today.
And that's the thing. We need to know, people are out here having fun. Running's not as... Everyone says how hard it is, but it's just a great run to be a part of.
Yeah.
And the bridge run as we make our way to the finish line there. So congratulations to the athletes that have finished the bridge run. That's the 9Ks. And they're checking the watch as they come across at the Conservatorium of Music. 9Ks going past blink of an eye. And there is two finish lines. One's at the Conservatorium of Music. One is here at the beautiful Opera House as well. You can see it just coming into the right of screen there. Up the top, the gantry, the Blackmores gantry. And that is where runners are continuing to make their way through for the half marathon marathon and the marathon with the family fun run and also the 9K bridge run as well, going to the Conservatorium of Music.
Well, I think celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Opera House, you've got Denmark's Crown Prince couple, really, Frederick and Mary. Now, Frederick, I think, has been an Ironman. He's actually run and participated in an Ironman event, so he's a marathon runner as well. So maybe we can get him across next year to take part in the actual marathon itself.
Yeah.
Princess Mary, of course, from Tasmania, one of our local lasses, attracting the eye of a little bit of European royalty, and now firmly ensconced. This is our lead runner in the women's division, Viratat Degafa, and she is running almost up to 2.5 hours. You would think, Monas, it'll be, what, 2:33, 34 by the time she's in?
Yeah, she's certainly slowed because she was on 2:28 pace for most of the journey, so there is no doubt that she is slowing. It's obviously how much she's slowing. If Ling Ling Jin is a kilometre behind, I don't think she'll close that gap, but certainly feeling the effects of this pace. So she's gone from running 2:28 to probably more like 2:32.
Because of the winding nature of the run to the finish line, there is an opportunity to see someone ahead of you and to actually be able to think, that's not all that far. I can see where the motorbike is. I can see where the boys on the push bikes as well. Maybe it's a possibility to try and bridge that gap.
Yeah, probably a K. I think we're safe. So I think she'd be right. But it is interesting, Ian, because you can see ahead, but you can't see behind. So it's she won't really know if someone's closing on her. But I think she'd certainly have awareness from out on the course earlier on that she's pretty safely ahead. She just has to hold together. I do sense she's slowing very quickly.
She's suffering. There's no question about that. You can see it almost every stride she's taking is an effort. It's not flowing.
No, so you never
how
know.
heavy are the legs at this stage? And you've both been there when you think this is not going according to plan inside the last couple of Ks.
I've only done it in the last 100 metres of a 1,500 metres. I think this man to my right here has probably had it for a lot longer in the marathon anyway.
Yeah, it's not easy. And just you notice that little ramp, how much of an effort it is to get up a little. Your legs are screaming. And what I like saying to everybody, we're intelligent people and your body's saying, hey, just stop and the pain goes away. So you're fighting against the demons of knowing that when you stop, it's all over. But she's battling. So I think, and yeah, I don't know. She's probably going to hang on, but I tell you, it's going to be tighter than we thought.
Okay, so there's the gap. We have seen Degafar come around that area there. She's still running. This is Gurmu, I believe, in second spot.
Yep.
So Degafar is our leader. There she is, getting towards the 2.5 hour mark, but she is slowing considerably. Even the boys on the bike are maybe having a look behind them as well.
Yeah, I think this might be closer than we think.
Yep.
I'd say, and it's certainly just the way she is really struggling, looking at her watch, taking deep breaths in. Look at how that runner's just running away. But yeah, I think Irma's probably struggling a little bit as well. But if she gets a sniff,
longer stride pattern. She seems to be at least getting the legs out.
It's giving us some entertainment anyway. I'm not sure if they're enjoying it, but
I still think rise that she went up only moments ago.
I think you'll find that Degafar's probably got enough of a break, and she's close enough to home that she will win. So I think she's fine.
She can see the Opera House. It must be painfully close, but it's like the Nullarbor Plain in between, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, Gurmu on the last checkpoint was 1 minute 45 seconds behind, which may seem not very far, but in a marathon, if you're both tired, it is a long way, isn't it, Monas?
It is, yes. And she will need to have eyesight. I think that's the difference. If she gets eyesight, then you've got a psychological chance. But at the moment, she's probably got runners impeding that view. So if Degafar's around the corner,
we might be able to see the helicopter shot as we come back.
So
that is almost eyesight now.
Yeah. I still think she's not running on as well as what she needs to.
No.
I'm pretty confident
it might be
that
closer than we think, but not close enough, as they say. Yeah.
Gurmu bringing in second spot at the moment. Biratat Degafar is our lead runner, the 22-year-old from Ethiopia, and she has been out the front all the way along. She was accompanied for a while by Beatrice Chepkemboy. who then pulled over to the side and had to pull out of the event. But Degafar has been doing a lot of the running. She's run it on her own terms, and maybe she's feeling that right now.
And remember that the race record is 2:38 for the women, so she's well under that. She's well inside. She's 2K inside the women's record. So this is some sort of run, and I really hope that she does hang on, because she's run such
and it's been a long way all the way on her own, isn't it? From about almost the halfway point, really, in the marathon. She had a little bit of, I suppose, company there from Buku, one of the men in the Japanese team that were running. He was running with her for a while, but he seems to either got in front or dropped off the pace with her.
Almost in that finishing straight. This is that sort of last straight before you know you're home. So this is like the last bit of hard work before she gets that finish banner in sight.
Magaka in third place, and it is Gumu who is in second place. But this is our leader, Birita Degafar, and she will be just having a look at the shelves of the Opera House right now, thinking, keep going. This is what it's all about.
Well, she's getting the support now of the crowd as it builds up towards the finish, and that will be helping her, I'm sure. But she's still looking at her watch. I caught her glancing at her watch a couple of times there, so she is still a little bit anxious.
She's right. I think she probably wanted to run under 2:30, but now I think she's probably just looking for the finish line. So she's home within a minute. So she'll run. This is a very, very impressive run.
It is a marvellous run for her. The Sydney Running Festival, of course, a key event on the New South Wales events calendar, and it's really just building in momentum all the way through. 13th year now, over $10 million has been raised for charity as a part of the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival, and it does just continue to grow and blossom and attract high-calibre international talent, like we're seeing with our runner from Ethiopia, Birita Degafar, who is getting closer and closer to that finish line as the crowd urges her on.
That little ramp there, you could see she was tired, but she can now see, obviously, that she's not that far away.
Birita Degafar is getting there, but those thighs, the calves, what's the hardest muscle, Steve?
The quads. Definitely the quads.
Yeah. The quads really feel it, and they'll be like concrete at the moment for Birita. She's within sight now of the Blackmores gantry. Gumu will not catch her just outside the 2.5 hours. So Birita Degafar is our winner in the women's for the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival Marathon. Congratulations to her. She just trots through, and we'll be talking with Lee Troop momentarily. Gurmu's made a good run towards the end, and she'll be taking second place. And Gurmu, a wonderful achievement for her to be able to get through. Wakatu Gurmu from Ethiopia, 26-year-old, slightly taller in stature and managing to keep those long strides going.
And get the quinella for Ethiopia, so a really good day for the women Ethiopians today.
Well done. So 2 Ethiopian runners inside 2:34 for the women's side of the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival, and inside the race record as well, Monas.
Yes, both well inside that 2:38 race record, so some very impressive female running today. Great. Probably the runs of the race, those two women right there.
So here's the conversation that says, how far were you behind me? Where were you? I was a bit worried about what you were doing, and no doubt there's real empathy between those two runners, both from the same nation as well, as we can see that Gurmu just a little slow to get down on the haunches, and the stretching will start. And what's the first thing you do? You get the water in, and then someone comes along and tells you to stretch, and you think, yeah, I will in a moment, just let me sit down.
Yeah, you lie down and then take the moment. You finished another marathon, and that's an achievement in itself. So you sit down, you absorb the moment, so thank goodness for that, all that training. It's paid off. Enjoy the moment. You don't have to run another step, so you can now sit down and relax. It's hard getting up. That's a problem. Getting down's okay. Getting up's not so easy.
Thanking the powers above as well, I think, in doing that. Our winner, Degafar from Ethiopia on the right, wearing the A14 and A18, our second place getter, which is Wakatu Gurmu, also her Gurmu from Ethiopia as well. So lots of people still out on the road, though, because the events continue. We've got the half marathon, and we've also got the bridge run as well. And when you look at it, 35,000 people, an enormous event here in Sydney. The weather guides have been lovely to us, and the runners continue to come home as a part of the Blackmores Sydney Running Festival. Thousands and thousands. Okay, there's the beautiful CBD area, and nothing out of place. The wind, just a gentle zephyr to cool the runners as they come through. The beautiful parklands of Hyde Park, Centennial Park, the CBD and downtown area of Sydney, with the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge now in the top of your frame. But for